Hey, it's Monica here at DAT. This is our Ask Me Anything series where we ask expert carriers and brokers to weigh in on your questions. Ask your questions using the hashtag TruckingAMA, and we might feature an answer to yours in a future episode. This week, we asked the experts, what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you on the road? And here's what they had to say.
One night I was delivering some tomatoes from EVERETT out of Arizona up in Minnesota to a customer. This is when the ELDs had first got implemented. And according to my dispatch information, it said I delivered at 8 o'clock in the morning. I decided to get into the customer or sleep there in front of their building because I would not have enough hours to come from a truck stop to get over there and make the delivery. It was probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. I got a knock on the door, rolled the window down, and there was two guys sitting there. They asked me what I was hauling, and I said, well, I don't really know. And the guy said, well, we're from the receiving department, and we may be receiving you here in a few minutes. However, you may have to go to another warehouse. And I just kind of laughed at them and said, there ain't no way to go to another location. As soon as I do, my company will red flag me and, they'll start calling me and everything like that because the truck moves because of the ELD. And they said, well, hold on, let me get with my boss and we'll get back with you. I said, okay. And I just happened to look out that side there and watched them in the mirror. And they got in this little white car in the parking lot of where I was delivering. Now, mind you, there was not any other cars in that parking lot. So that kind of sent a red flag up to me that they're getting ready to rob me. So I stayed in the bunk and waited till they left. They left. They didn't come back no more that night. The next morning, I got up and went in to check in with the receiver and asked him if they had some guys come in last night. And the receiver said no. We're only open 8 to 8, Monday through Friday. I said, well, I had two hoodie guys come up to me last night, asked me what I hauled. He said, yeah, we've been taken by them guys a few times. So it's a good thing that you didn't go anywhere. But I used the ELD as my excuse, and it was the truth. I thank God today that I didn't have the hours because there was a chance that they could have lured me away from there. Just kind of my message on this one, guys, is, if you ever have that approach, don't do it. The answer is no. Use your ELD as an excuse not to go somewhere, whatever you got to do. Or get on the phone with your company immediately and get the authorization from your company.
The scariest thing that's ever happened to me in trucking would have to be during my first year in trucking. I picked up a load of meat from a drop yard and I was following my navigation and somehow I got led into the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas and it was really dark. So the roads that I was on were pretty much, I wasn't supposed to be in those areas with the commercial vehicles, and the back end of my trailer was sliding off of the road and I thought I was gonna die. So I made it to the top of the hill and I parked my truck in like a ditch and I called the cops and they came out and they told me that we were going to have to wait until the morning for them to escort me out. And it was 44,000 pounds of meat. I ran out of coolant and in the morning I had to stand up on top of my truck and flag a driver down, a local driver that was driving through there, and he gave me some coolant and I had to get police escorted out of there. But I definitely thought I was going to die because it was 44,000 pounds of meat sliding off of the cliff.
One incident that happened with regards to the weather taught me a lesson that has really stayed with me about watching out when you are on the side of the road. There was a horrible snowstorm in Utah and my co-driver and I got shut down in it. We got off the highway on a road that was not for trucks. That's how bad the snow was. And another car came up behind us and said, I know you're lost. Go in this parking lot over here till the storm passes. and you'll be safe there. Well, at about 3 o'clock in the morning, the storm passed and our company started sending us messages saying we had to go. So we needed to get out of that parking lot, and it took us to put on cables on the tires to get out of the parking lot. Those are a temporary fix in those kind of weather conditions. You can't drive with them for a very long time. So we used them long enough to get ourselves up to the freeway, and as soon as they started sparking, which is what they do when they hit dry ground, I pulled over on the shoulder and got out to take them off. My co-driver stayed in the truck. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. There was really nobody out on the road. And all of a sudden, this car that passed us really fast stopped and started backing up on the shoulder straight at me. And I usually cover my hair, or I try to take some kind of precautions to not make it seem like I'm a stranded female motorist. And now this car had backed right up, and two guys got out both sides and started coming at me like this with their hands in their hoodie. And here it is 3 in the morning, and clearly they saw that I'm out there by myself taking these cables off, that I'm maybe potentially a target for money, so I don't know what. And I was turned around. Luckily my co-driver saw that these two guys had pulled up that fast and that it was a bad situation. So he came out of the truck. The guy was gesturing, the way he was gesturing with his hoodie, like he was trying to make me know that he had something. I don't even know if he did, but just the way that he was, it was very intimidating to both of us. So we basically were like, oh man, we're students, we don't make any money, oh, good luck, bye, and just like, let's go and get in the truck and get out of here. And it really left an impression on me what a danger you are on the shoulder for many different reasons. Broke down, but especially in the middle of the night, and you're out there and people see you out there with the truck. So it's really good to think about those things before you get out of the truck by yourself, even when you don't think anybody else is on the road but you.
But I do remember this one time. I was in California coming south on Interstate 5 going across the Grapevine, and the truck that I was driving at the time, something happened with the engine and the Jake brake wouldn't work, and I was grossed out. I had 40 to 45,000 pounds in the box, and I had to come down Grapevine with no Jake. I managed to stop halfway down, and it wasn't pretty. The trailer was smoking, and I thought I was gonna die that day. So I sat there for about an hour and a half, let everything cool down, and I proceeded to go on down the rest of the way. But when I got to the bottom, I had to stop again. And this time, every brake on the truck and trailer was cherry red and glow, and I thought it was gonna catch on fire. I had that fire extinguisher ready, and everything was smoking. You would have thought the truck was on fire. I'm really surprised I didn't get a ticket for that, but that was one scary moment I do not want to repeat.